Come check out some amazing color shift paints from Green Stuff World.
Spiky bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer, and today we're taking a look at something a little different for the hobby. Some color shift paints from Green Stuff World. These are some really neat iridescent paints, and I'll admit, when they first hit me up about it, they're like, yo, we want you to do this. I wasn't sure what to make of it. So I went over to the site and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but let's check it out. So here is their website, greenstuffworld.com, and there you can see the little advertisement for the chameleon paints. I love these things. So color shift paints, and I think they're on sale right now, or maybe they have a different price. I thought this was on sale. Maybe it's their new everyday price here. 24.95 euros, which I think ends up being around 30 bucks US, plus shipping, of course. There's 6 paints to a pack here, and there's 2 sets. So overall, you're probably going to pay about 5 bucks each for them. But let's see what they have to say here. So color shift paints, shake well and apply over a black base coat. Check. For best effects, use a gloss base coat so it will increase the effect. All right. Semi-transparent chameleon paints can also be applied over either base coat colors to achieve different color shift effects. Paint very light coats till maximum color shows up and base coat is no longer visible. All right, I like instructions. This is a step in the right direction, giving us instructions on how to use this new product. I like it. This set is 6 acrylic color shifts paints: Burning Gold, Psychotic Illusions, Celestial Azure, Cobalt Blue, Toxic Purple, and Nebula Copper. And there you can see the complete set with, it looks like they primed a spoon because it's a spoon, and did some sick fades there. And I like how it shows off, because if this isn't iridescent, it's going to show off different colors at different angles, which I like here because the spoon is convex. So that was a really great idea on their part to show these off. And then there's some tutorials that they have as well on them, so I encourage you all to check them out. I kind of gave them a peek as well. So we're gonna order this one, and it's Twinsy right here, which has some colors that we're probably going to talk more about right here, with my personal favorite, Psychotic Illusions. Oh, that was the other set. Well, this one has the Emerald Gateway and the Storm Surge Green, which seems to be favorites out there. So add to cart. Let's check them out. And like magic, they appeared before us on the workbench right here. So here they are, the 2 sets, straight out of Spain. Took about 2 weeks to get. They come with a little kind of instruction manual here, which is pretty much the stuff on the front, and the instructions that we saw on their website on how to read it as well. But other than that, it's pretty much the same information that's on the package, and some warnings and such about it. So the first set here is the Burning Gold, the Cobalt Blue, Psychotic Illusions, etc. The second is the Mystic Gold, Emerald Gateways. There's no rhyme or reason. I don't understand why they put each in here. Not that it matters. They just have, maybe they just figured people would just pick a set and kind of go with it, which makes more sense. And they come with the normal size dropper bottle here. You've got a Scale 75 paint over here for reference, so it's about the same size. 17 ml bottle. I believe this is also a 17 ml bottle, as indicated right there. So very similar in consistency and content, but like I said, this is going to run you about $5 a bottle here. This is really thin down paint, like also they indicated as well, with the translucent properties of it. Now, that being the case, and here's the other ones, and I'm just going to pull these out to show you guys. That being the case, the problem we ran into when we were actually using these paints is that it takes many coats to show you something meaningful, which means I didn't want to record us doing a billion passes with the airbrush. And by the way, the airbrush is the optimal way to go with these, just because of the fact that it is so thin and it needs to be laid out so well. You can brush them on. You're not going to get the same results. I did it briefly, and I personally was not happy with it. So I feel like if you're picking these up, you do want to be aware that you're probably going to want to have to airbrush with these, and do not airbrush with them with anything less than a 0.4 needle. I used our Iwata right here, and the one thing I will tell you is that these are going to dry and get gummy inside your airbrush. So use them quick. Keep mixing them in the pot, and keep moving as fast as you can. And here is some of the stuff. Here's some of the gunk that actually dried on the a little sponge that I use to clean the stuff out. And let's see if I can find. There was actually a huge piece that was. Oh, here it is. This little piece right here was actually clogged inside my needle cap. That it had, you know, just gotten in there and just kind of dried out. Now, this didn't happen while I was spraying it. This happened afterwards while I was, the next day actually, I was cleaning this out. I noticed that it was still a little gummy, more than what I had thought I needed to clean. So whatever your normal cleaning practices are with this stuff, you are going to need to clean it a little bit better than normal. Just be aware of that. And the 0.4 needle helps. I tried pushing it with a 0.2 needle, it did not work. So we're not going to show you actually us airbrushing this stuff because, like I said, everybody out there's got a video with this stuff. They did send them to us to review for promotion, of course, but I'm not going to show you us painting with them because I'm going to try to show you, to give you the tools to kind of show you some of the different techniques and how they look over different materials, so you can kind of decide for yourself if they are for you. So we did two different sprays with them over some GW Citadel bases. And remember, the detail on these bases, as we reported originally, isn't as crisp as they could be because they crank these things out. It's a great, great money saver as far as spacing goes, but the detail isn't as crisp as, say, a multi-part model. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the detail on this. The detail is already dulled because that's just the way they come. So we did a black with a semi-gloss spray over it. I did not have any black gloss spray to use, and it looked something similar to this. So here is exactly what the model looked like before I sprayed over it. So a black base coat with a nice gloss shine to it. From the semi-gloss, it's not a full gloss. So we did black here, and we did a steel, like a really dark steel that was very similar to the black metal from CL75, but in a rattle can from Testers. I think it's called like aluminum buff Iser or something. I don't even know what it's called. I just buy the same can every time. It saves me a lot of time when it comes to doing scaffolding and stuff like on or the metals on things like Knights or Decimators or what have you. But I digress. So first up, let's take a look at these. So here is one of each color and some of the colors that I mixed personally. Now you can see when I move these that there is, especially this one down here, and these, I think this is the Martian Green, there is some iridescent properties to them. They will shimmer, like it almost appears like right here. Check out, watch the rivets as I move it. The rivets are gonna appear to kind of displace because of the color shift of the iridescent paint, which I think is pretty cool. Now, this was, let's see, let's show you each color here. And what they look like in their package isn't always what they're gonna look like when you spray it. So this is your burning gold. Let me make sure I'm not misspeaking here. Yep, this is your burning gold, which is this one, which makes sense. That definitely looks like a gold. The next one is Cobalt Blue, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because this definitely looks non-blue. It's 100% translucent, but that is a really great, it's got a really great shimmer to it when you do it. That one's pretty neat. The next one here is Psychotic Illusions, which a lot of people are saying is great for Alpha Legion. Now, we did use this additionally. This bottle is, I would say, about a quarter full, give or take, but you can see here on the bottom, like, look at this. This doesn't look anything like that right there. And then when you spray it over a different color, you're going to get this right here. So this color is actually that color, but on black, which is a little bit confusing. I don't know why. Oh, excuse me. That is, yep, no, that is that one because I went across and then came down. So that is that one right there. That is Psychotic Illusions. Excuse me. That is Psychotic Illusions over black. That is also Psychotic Illusions over a dark metal color, which you're going to see more of that here in a second. So that's Psychotic Illusions. Then we've got, what is this color here? Toxic Purple. And that is this one right here, which also doesn't make any sense because it looks translucent, right? So that's why I'm saying you gotta get in here, you gotta play with these things Celestial Azure, which I really like this color. This color is one of my favorites personally. Again, translucent, but that is it right there. And that thing's got a great shimmer to it too. Nebula Copper, which when you see it, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that. But that thing shimmers too. So it's really, really neat. These colors are really neat. And then next up is the next set, which is going to start right here. And that's Mystic Gold. Again, a color that makes sense once you look at it. Emerald Gateway, which is this one right here, which very much shimmers. It goes from a really rich kind of teal to like a green underneath it. That one's really cool. I like that one. Then Tropical Green, which is this one over here, and I'm not really sure what that is all about, but it's crazy. It almost looks like a mint, kind of like a sherbet kind of color right there. Very cool stuff. So Red Goblin, this one's gonna make sense when you see it. You're like, oh, okay, Red Goblin, yep, that one makes sense. I could see it right there. Storm Surge Green, which is this one. Also another one of my faves. It definitely has a great shimmer to it. And bringing up the rear, last but not least, is Martian Green, which has a purple look to it, but definitely shows up different right there. And then all of these are like some ones I was custom mixing and kind of trying out one coat over other coats. This, for the most part, is one solid spray. They say to use it in multiple thin coats to get the best shimmer effect, but I wasn't going to switch out, 12 bottles and then, clean it and all that stuff. That's a tremendous, you're talking like an hour just sitting here with the airbrush recording that, again, while we're not doing it live. But I figured just doing it this way, just to give you an idea of how it would look, would benefit you some too. And then here you can see how they're going to look different. Like you've got those colors here, very similar stuff over a straight black. Kind of gives you an idea. Now these right here, these colors are custom mixes, but they, for the most part, they appear the same, but the lighter it is and the thinner the coats, the more of a shimmer you're gonna get. So this would have looked a lot better had we sampled it more. But I wanted to take one of the colors and show you all thoroughly how multiple coats would look on a miniature. So first off, we took one of our Alpha Legion Tartaros Terminators here. Let's get him up, get you a good look at him. And this is with the Psychotic Illusions that everybody seems to think is the best looking for these guys here. And you can see right there, it definitely shimmers. A lot of shimmering going on for sure. And then we flip it over to here. And when you're not seeing shadows. Now this was shaded by me. We did a dark up to a light. So the blue has actually attached itself to the darker areas and the lighter colors come through up on the silvers. Now here's the one part you really need to consider. I wanted to say bad part, but it's not really a bad part because it's using it as intended, right? This is about 20 coats or 20 individual passes with the airbrush. Now, why the effect looks magnificent. The shimmer effect, once you detail this guy up, he's going to look like nothing else out there when it comes to the tabletop. But this is 20 passes with a paint that is $5. So you kind of got to ask yourself, hey, is this something I want to use on all my mans in my army, or is this something I just want to use for a special occasion? And if it is something that you want to use on all your mans, you're going to need to purchase the appropriate amount of paint. Once you figure out which color. But that being said, it wouldn't be a bad thing to do army wide. You just have to be aware that it is going to take up a lot of passes. This one was a darker metal that seemed to work pretty well also. You can see the nice shimmer in there. This is only about 5 passes with the paint because I kind of knew the way it was going, to be quite honest, and there's a little bit of my test blues in there. I reprimed it, but didn't do a good job. So disregard that if you see that out of the corner of your eye. But all in all, I think the shimmer is great. Keep going with it. It would definitely make a very good looking effect here. But Undaunted, you know, I wanted to keep pressing on and do it over a gloss black. And that's what we get with this guy right here, which again, I mean, for Alpha Legion, I feel like this is pretty good. Like, this is a great looking shimmer here. Had I used the full-on gloss black, who knows how good this really would have looked. But I feel like with a black primer, with some semi-gloss over top of it, it looked even, I mean, it looks good. It doesn't look bad at all. However, you know, you're still gonna have to go in and do all the trim with silvers and such, and kind of work it up from there. But this is indeed looks like a great Alpha Legion kind of color as far as that goes. It's got a really great shimmer, and it was very easy to use. However, this too is about 20 passes with the airbrush, and you really don't even start to see that really rich buildup until about past 15 through 20 is when you really start seeing it. You're like, oh man, this is really working. How much, you know, how farther do I want to go with it? Do I want to get that crisp blue or that crisp teal, or do I want to leave it to be a little bit more of a shimmer? I kind of took it up about as far as I could go, that I thought it looked reasonable without, you know, starting to look kind of completely no shimmer, no color change to it. Because right there, let's see, on my end, that is purple. And then when I pull, like right there on the camera, it is purple. To me, it is teal. And then it's teal all the way through. So very cool stuff all in all. And, you know, I think one of the reasons that we talked about this the way we did is that I think it's a cool product that you don't see a lot of this stuff out there for the hobby. So I definitely wanted to talk about it. I was a little apprehensive at first. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work. But we went over, we checked it out on the website. I was like, yeah, all right, we'll give it a whirl. I did a lot of test figs. You know, we primed up all these bases just to get the general color kind of chart to it and kind of figure out which one we wanted to spend a little bit more time on. Again, I didn't want to bore you with the airbrush, but you have my tips on that as well. Overall, I think it's a cool product. It might not be for every model in your army out there, but again, that's the decision that you have to make. It is an investment in time. You definitely want to do this. If it is for every model in your army, you want to lay them all out. You want to do them in multiple passes over, like, you know, a couple hours time, perhaps maybe an hour, and just knock it all out in that regard. And I think that would be a hobby responsible way to work it with your time out there. And then because you still got to detail it and everything after that. So overall, I think it's a cool product. I think it's worth checking out. It will have some uses. It might not be as general use kind of a product as you might use on a daily basis as, say, the airbrush itself, but it is one of those things that just might be cool just to kind of tinker around with and just, you know, have some fun with, and maybe hit some stuff and, you know, just mess around, because that's what makes this hobby great, is everybody has an idea for every product out there and every model out there. You know, 10 people aren't going to have the same idea, which is really cool, and which makes this hobby so freaking awesome. So overall, I think Green Stuff World has a cool product on their hands. I can't wait to see people, you know, using this more and see what they come up with for their particular models out there. Again, you know which way to use it, the best way to use it, the best practices, how to clean your airbrush after, or clean your airbrush more than you would after you're finished using this, and do it in an assembly line. Those are my tips there. So overall, I would give the Color Shift metal paints from Green Stuff World 3 out of 5 spikies, just because they are so cool in general. So if you like these kind of features, make sure you work out your hobby muscles and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on our videos.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. TheLongWar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.